What is up, y'all? It is me, Tasha C, and welcome to the Tasha C Show. This is my first time doing a live podcast. And this is also, if y'all look at the title, it's called my second introduction for today's episode. So, I wanted to talk about a few things, do a little rant and stuff like that. And the reason why I'm doing a self-introduction, like a second introduction, ain't no editing like that. We just gonna keep it real, is, I'm still learning. I honestly did always wanted to for several years, and I ain't gonna lie, and I know this may be cliche-ish, but I did always wanted to do a podcast. I always wanted to do, like what I'm doing now, if y'all also, follow my YouTube channel, plug. But, radio, can sometimes be similar to like the YouTubing channel and but to me it's a little bit different, so I'm still learning around around the loops and everything about the podcasting. So I'm learning as I'm going about how I'm going to do this. Now there are going to be episodes that I talk about a person leaving with HS, and maybe this is going on with me, or dealing with, with mental health, or how I do every day, or what to wear, about what medicines don't work. So I may possibly do a couple more episodes this month. But yeah, I'm actually starting to like it. But let me get you a little sound. Okay, I know it's gonna be a little sound, but that was small. So anyway, like I said, even though I feel, I am doing this show live, I'm probably just going to manually upload it. So I'm still getting used to how the podcast works. But let me get into why I chose Spreaker. I chose Spreaker because I've seen a lot of my YouTube fam members and some of my associate co-workers that also use Spreaker, and some of them will upload it to the video. Now I will tell y'all this, like, you can do it free, but they, it's a limitation to how long you're able to talk. And different plans have it where, you can speak so much. Like I'm trying out, but this is a trial, y'all. If y'all can get the coupon code for a first month of the podcast. Also, that's the way I think that in order to get monetization, even though I'm kind of do this more so for personal reasons, like I'm doing it for fun and doing it to be informative and, so forth. I'm not doing it for the cash. It's like I sure ain't doing YouTube for the cash. It's something that I wanted to do. So it's the same thing with the podcast. So when last week, when my body was fighting off possibly getting ill, my dad is feeling better. My mom didn't end up getting sick, thank goodness. And I still have a lesion on my right arm, which I had to be very careful about because that's the area where I almost was about to have to get, and I almost had to get surgery on, probably if it would have been this month. So I still am supervising it because I'm still getting flare-ups in somewhere I don't like to use that word, I was not supposed to get, flare-ups, anything again. So I'm still looking at it. Then I still got the other lesions and abscess I get in the lower half of my body. I'll leave it as that. So anyway, so when I decided to use the Spreaker, I was trying to find something that I could just upload a file and, auto file. And to me, it seemed like it was the easiest. It's, it was still entertaining and informative who I heard. So I said, let me try this out. And then I decided, maybe if I can get it approved to other platforms that also have podcasts, that would be awesome as well too. So there's a couple places, y'all look ahead. I don't know if I'm going to use all these places in the future still, but I did get approved at 2 more places this morning, okay, which you can find me also on Google, and also under the Apple Podcasts as well, including SoundCloud. I'm not on Stitcher. Also Castbox, I think, is also named. Of course, it's a Spreaker, because that's the one it started me with. So, but anyways, y'all, I thought, honestly, personally to me, that it's a little bit harder for me to say talk in a podcast, even though I used to be one of these kids that record. I actually used to record a show when they had cassettes. And some of the young people, they're like, what the hell is cassette? A cassette came out before the streams, before the digital MP3 and MP4s, all these files. That's how we used to listen to music before that. And then they used to have called before that 8 tracks and then records, okay? Okay. But I used to sometimes record shows, but it just seemed like, to me, when I get on YouTube, 9 times out of 10, I came on there. I mean, I did my first video when I had graduated in 2013 with my bachelor's. And then I made 1 or 2 videos in the first place. Shout out to Mike B. And hopefully, if he listens to this episode, was my first post on YouTube. Was like, hi, well, welcome to the family. He watched my videos. I was recommending, I think it's recommendations, or somebody else watched him. He's truly a YouTube supporter. Supporter. I think he's taking a break at the moment now as far as his videos and stuff, and just living life, and I don't blame him. That was my first YouTube cousin, and still is. So after that, I did a couple videos. Like, I did a review of Pain and Gain, the movie that came out with The Rock and Mark Wahlberg and Anthony, I think, what's his name? Anthony Mackie, whatever. And then I did a video deleting when I was trying to review, like, in the middle of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta that came on at the time. And then I didn't come back again. And I did, I think, 1 video with one of my nieces. But I deleted that where we're talking about current events, and I didn't like it, and so you won't find that video unless you downloaded it or seen it before it came out, because a lot of people didn't see it no way. Then I started reviewing my first show, which was in the fall 2013, in September, of the premiere of Black Ink Crew, the original crew, and that was the first show I started with. So definitely, y'all, over check my YouTube. I will, 9 times out of 10, I'll say this, I will be reviewing Black Ink Compton. So, and I took it from there. But it's so easy. When I look at the shows, I may do book reviews as well, but I don't want to do, like, spoilers too much with, like the books. I don't know. And also, I thought about, like, maybe doing more movie reviews, but it may be spoilers. Say, like, if it's a movie, like, on Netflix or on TV or something like that. I don't know if I want to make a spoiler or spoiler-free movie. I'd rather have my reviews, whatever. And I used to, when I went to community college, but only for a couple papers, I used to actually do, like, reviews for music. That was, the categories I chose were for a couple of albums out of that time, and reviews on movies. But it was more so I didn't go and see the movies. I just, like, kind of did a synopsis of what I seen, maybe say with a trailer, or what was already, I think what was said in an article. I think did a couple of those, but more some music reviews. So when I turn on the TV or look through my phone, it's more easy to contact. And I'm just taking the information how I see, perceiving, adding commentary. And a few little times my heart to tell does use notes. It seemed easier, or entertainment, which I don't know if I'll ever go back to, like, precisely, like, I heard this in news. I don't want to do stuff that's allegedly. If I was doing it, which 9 times I was doing before, it was stuff where I tried to be, where it was accurate and it actually was happening. Now, it was a few things was question mark. Was K. Michelle pregnant again? Was Jocelyn actually pregnant? But I had a question mark on. Other than that, I really kind of stayed away from, like, what I said, entertainment news. Because when I'm looking and perceiving that, this information is already there. Not to say I couldn't do a review in the middle of, like a podcast, but I wanted to be like, I talk about topics, but I wanted to be similar, but not exactly the same. Y'all get me saying. So I'm still trying to learn how to have it set up, or how to do sound effects, or get right around, or even share the podcast. So I'm learning as I go, and I hope to learn once I become more used to using and making more of these episode podcasts. I want to be able where I'm able to do more in the long run, and I don't know, set up a little intro and everything else, and eventually might even have more than one show, So that's what I'm doing. I'm still learning. Now, honestly, y'all, I would have did this episode a little bit earlier, but because of the past events, and 9 times out of 10, not all the episodes are always going to upload to, like, YouTube, due to the fact of sensitivity, you have to be really careful what you say, okay? But like I said, not every episode is going to be, I'll just leave it out like that. It's not, this episode, I'm going to refrain from cussing, but not every episode I'm not going to refrain. Because originally that's what I started. But since recently, in the past couple months, that I have been trying to avoid, because I'm, due to the changes of YouTube, this is not videos, podcast. It's not going to be focused on YouTube. But because of the changes, I had to basically started back down again and work my way up to possibly get monetization. And you have to be careful what you say on there anyway nowadays, because let's just say the sensitivity level is very high of what you can say and what you cannot say. So I've been used to not actually cussing the episodes. Majority of the time, I did use foul language, but there used to be a couple shows, but it's still been way yonder. When I first started, like in 2013, there was actually shows, a couple of them that I did not actually curse or avoid cursing at all. Like, what was that show on Bravo? But there only was 2 seasons of that family, and it was like, had the money stuff. I had the tiara and everything, y'all. Just props. Okay? And, I just, like I said, I remember the show. I forgot what the name of the show. That's how long it was on there. It was only like for 2 seasons, and then it went away. I think I reviewed the first season and stuff like that, but I think I refrained from cussing. But I also reviewed, I think, the first season or second season of Mary. I think I remember that, and The Preachers of L.A. I think I did season 1, and I was blessed also to, when you do some of these videos, if you're a YouTuber or the person as far as like curate content, and or you watch videos of certain people, certain shows, sometimes you will find other great people who have, find more channels and a place you subscribe to and find more great content. Or sometimes you find more people using family. I found Jayla, Self-Esteem Queen, due to the fact of reviewing the show Preachers LA, and that was a blessing itself for just the people I have encountered, just reviewing shows, and they find your videos and you find theirs, and they're just awesome. Even to, find people, even if just once in a while, or every blue moon, or even if it's just one a couple times, but just that you might have had a conversation with them, or you contact in the comments, or if y'all, follow each other Instagram pages or something. It's amazing who you can sometimes find. That's one of the benefits of me being on YouTube, that is beyond just if I'm trying to get a buck. Okay. Speaking of that, y'all, here's a little rant about my whole thing. My nephew, Little Kenny, which he has, it was a glimpse a couple months ago. I had a picture of him. He is on his stepmom's YouTube that nobody really knows about. Just like a little family video. He's riding his bike or something. Now, little man wants to create his own YouTube channel. He in that stage where he follows these YouTubers like JC, I don't know, So Cool, Oh So Chillin', I don't know what his name is because I don't be following certain YouTubers like that. I do like reactors, and shout out to Jules, JS Explosion. Please check her out. That's one of my YouTube cousins as well. She does reactions, reviews, and of course, she's underrated and she slept on. But anyway, y'all, like I said, I'm still trying to get used to the channel. So what else do I need to reintroduce myself yet? That I like podcasts, and finally I realize I'm going to also still stay in the world of podcasting and still do YouTubing. But yeah, my nephew wants to sit here, y'all, and make a YouTube channel. He's trying to wait till he turns 18, but at the same time, he's in the process. And I said, I have no problem doing that as long as I'm able to help him as far as adult to give him there. Because, he's under the, thinking like, he can just get monies like this and, get the fame, and he wants this and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. First of all, you got to put in a lot of work even to be considered to even get monetization now. And it ain't the 10,000. Of course he doesn't know that, but I just know personally how it has changed over the years. And heck, we're in a time now where your videos get demonetized. It's been on and off, been doing that for the last couple of years. Because when I was still under the YouTube, monetization program. Well, actually, I was under a network, and y'all, that's probably, I might make another video within itself. I'm glad that I was able to be taken off of it, because some people, even though if they were under this particular network, even they requested off, and these are people, one of them I still watch to this day, they were through with their contract, and as soon as they thought they were done, they still had control, because it was every 2 years contract. They don't help your channel, so don't, y'all, I will tell this here. Don't go with a network with as far with make a YouTube channel, and once you're able to get monetization and reach that point again, or it's your first time or you're going your second time around, do not go with a network, y'all, unless you probably got at least 500 files or something, whatever, and whatever, maybe do that. But even then, I would just stick with just doing Google AdSense and just calling it a day and just taking it from there, because my channel did not pop, and then they take a percentage too, as well out of it. So what they're supposed to do, they're not doing anything. So actually, with me being demonetized, the good thing, the silver lining there is that I was taken out of going under this network, okay? Because that ain't helping. I can do that stuff my own self and just share my videos, and that's the case, okay? So don't ever do that. But that's what I'm saying is, it's just my nephew. He wants to. Oh, I want to do praise. He just want to do, because he's a child, wants to do what he sees, where it's like, well, I want to go ahead and, do pranks and do this video, and I want to do reactions. And that's why I told him, you really need to look at the stuff reactions. Really, I should have told him to look at Jules' channels. I might have him, next time I see him, to tell him look at hers, because you have to be careful of the content, even the photos that you put on there. Like for example, I had a video that was taken down when Rosewood came out. It was me, Mike B, and I think someone else that was reviewing the show. I thought the show was good, had potential, but, whatever. But I did only a couple episodes, y'all. Because for a while, I used to be consistent dude from beginning to the end of whatever series I was doing. But after a while, after life happened, I wasn't able to review as much anymore. So I went ahead and, reviewed that show, only 4 episodes, and I realized it wasn't worth reviewing anyway, because what happened to me was I had reviewed a show, and the main actress husband actually said thank you, and I think to other people, like I said, that reviewed the show, for reviewing the show, because his wife was the lead actress in this series. And I swear, y'all, a couple months later, YouTube, and I didn't, try to appeal it or nothing like that, took it off. They ain't take none of the rest of my reviews off or anything like that. One time, y'all, I was even reviewing Empire. That was, of course, years ago. And other shows until this day. And they took the show. I didn't get copyright strike or anything copyrighted, but they said it violated something and then just took it off. But it happened to be the episode where I'm getting, like a thank you, like, for reviewing the show, and I'm like, what did I do? And then when Google Plus was something, y'all, they were saying something, I kept violating some Google Plus. Well, don't matter now, because, it pretty much, they got rid of that now. But what I'm saying is, you have to be very careful of how you review stuff, and, fair time use and stuff. And I will honestly want to learn that too, whether I decide to do like reactions. Like some people I still see, they're able to review the shows. You see, little preview of the show that they're reviewing, the little box. Just like Jules does, where she listens, you got to speed up, you got to do all this other stuff. That's why I don't know if he wants to do the reactions and stuff. Or maybe, honestly, if it was up to me, I would just tell him just to wait. Because he may not want to do it, about 7 to 8 years from now. But, how these kids be. So, anyways, about that with the YouTube thing. Also, with the demonetization, I want to remember this. Like I said, I'm just ranting, y'all. Now, I had a video. The videos I was having demonetized were like videos from years ago, a couple of them, like, they were scattered around. Like 4 or 6 of them. Yeah, like I said, this was 2016. And one video that surprised me out of all of it else being demonetized was my video where I'm talking about my illness. I'm not showing anything graphic or online. I just was talking about my update about the video, and that was demonetized. And, like I said, the system is so sensitive. Now I'm starting to see it again, unfortunately, with YouTubers, where they got to make this video private in order to get approved and all this other stuff. So it's happening again. I haven't been on YouTube like that much. So, you just take it day by day with them, okay? So anyways, y'all, I really was kind of down the last couple of days. It's just kind of been sad. Only one of the main reasons, of course, being, what's happened this past weekend. Like I said, I had a loved one that was in the hospital. If y'all listen to the first episode, and even though they're feeling better, it was like, a health scare, and now they got to recover from the condition that they had. And so it just, I didn't even have the energy. I was supposed to do phobia. Still got to do that up. I mean, I know I'm going to keep talking about YouTube, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I'm going to post this a podcast on YouTube as well. But I'm just saying it's the stuff I was planning on doing in terms of whether it had to do with me possibly doing another show. Because I don't know if I'm going to do one every week or once a month or every other week or not. Like I said, I'm just taking it like it is. Or I may sometimes give more episodes for this particular month, and then make a schedule of what I'm going to do. And like I said, I'm still learning. Not too many people even know I have a podcast unless I've told them. And Jules also has a SoundCloud podcast. I don't know if she's going to create any more. My YouTube cousin, she knows I have it there. And a few people who have listened to where I upload on YouTube. And like I said, I'm still getting approval of certain other podcast places or, apps, radio stations, companies as well. And I don't know if anybody has listened to Spreaker or not. Because like I said, I'm still learning my way around. But anyway, it just made me where now the stuff I was going to do, I just postpone it just because of all that would happen. And it, like I said, I'm lost for words. I don't even want to talk about it. Not because, I'm like, okay, I'm worried about where uploaded to. It's not about that. It's just, it is so sad. And I'm just like lost for words. And personally, it will make me emotional where I'll be crying like, excuse me, and I got to cut the show, So, but anyway, I don't have to say what y'all probably think I'm going to say. Whew, okay. And, so it's just been, like I said, a very emotional weekend, or last week anyway. And y'all, if y'all into, a little bit about astronomy and horoscopes, I'm happy. I'm going to tell y'all this also, that we are out of Mercury retrograde / them damn eclipses. I mean, okay, that's the most cussing y'all gonna get. It's maybe a damn, okay, or maybe, but y'all, if y'all about the astrology thing, like I said, one of the main people I listen to is a couple people I started following YouTube is Susan Miller. Okay, I have found her about 14, 15 years ago. She gives a lot of free, great content and, video stuff. She's supposed to be coming out with another book in 2020. And some of the stuff she be saying not like I'm looking at word per word, like, okay, in the 14th, this better come, on the 15th, better come, whatever. But she is one of the people that has been accurate, but like to say, that Mercury retrograde last month was no joke. And no damn 2 eclipses, okay? Miscommunication everywhere. Heck, lights going off about 3 or 4 days on top of that, okay? And we're lucky they came on then, okay? Then I was stuck 2 days during, I don't know, was it dog sitting? Because 2 whole days the generator was down the street because my brother, my sister-in-law, and my niece stayed there, and she got nerves that she got last year, a whole a fur child, whatever the heck. So he was down here with me. Okay, I'm glad he's older though, because the last time I had anything dog with my sister, Nick had one, and that's been about 10 plus something years ago. Other than that, I'm not used to being around people with dogs. Close I got the damn pet was a goldfish named Ginger, and one named Pebbles and Bam Bam. Okay, that's who I had, and Wilma. I literally had 3 fish I got for free, I think from school or something like that. They gave us for one of the science experiments. Okay, other than that, I had not had no damn pets, and she had a couple parakeets. Okay, beforehand, Other than that, I was stuck with a dog and limited where, at least thank goodness I could charge my phone and some laptop, but the only internet I had was through the phone, which I'm using right now as my mic for my podcast, okay? So it was just a lot of stuff that went haywire last month. And we're just getting out of the whole, that Mercury retrograde. I don't think it's retrograde. Is it supposed to come back? Why am I asking questions like people are actually looking, like, going to respond back? But y'all can respond to comments depending where I upload the show to. And so anyway, y'all, everything just went haywire, a lot last week. This month supposed to be better, next month supposed to be better, and whatever, and around Christmas time really supposed to be lit. And so, like I said, it really was a crazy, crazy month. And, like I said, that's all I have to say. But other than that, I really think I'm going to, conclude this show. Like I said, I want to reintroduce myself because I was more so talking. Even though I talked about YouTube so much in the last episode, I more so was talking as if I was just using the Spreaker as, this podcast platform as just, like the auto part, but not looking at it as a podcast show. So like I said, I'm somebody where if y'all, this is your first time listening to my show, I go by Tasha C. I'm originally was a YouTuber. I thought about, like I said, YouTubing / podcasting for several years. We're going to say much years. Okay. But I, postponed about doing podcast shows. Like back in my head, I wanted to do for years. So it was, I like to call sometimes a great accident. I decided to give an update really about YouTube, but why I didn't feel well to come up on camera. And then it turned and I realized, you know what? I think I'm finally going to go ahead and make this podcast, okay? So that's what I'm doing. So I'm doing it step by step. More than what the heck, how I do this stuff, and I'll just take it by there and see how this goes. And then, like I said, I'm not even knowing how to really share this, but I'm just slowly getting myself out there. Just like there's still stuff that I'm learning about YouTube. Okay, I didn't do my first YouTube live until really like a month or something ago. Okay, and I've been YouTubing, even though it's been for the past, you might say like during the 3 to 4 years, and the majority of the time I was a YouTuber, I had never did a live until, like I said, not too long ago. And I've been on YouTube for several years, but I never had, not everybody, that don't mean like you have to do a live, but that's where, I finally felt comfortable to do a live. It's like I wanted to do one, but I didn't know. And it was just my first try. I only had like 1 or 2 people there anyway. And then due to the fact of this lovely phone, I ain't gonna, sit here and talk bad about it because I still need it. It don't need me. You know what I mean? So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. But like I said again, my name is Tasha C, and I was a YouTuber, and now this is my podcast. Well, I won't just be talking about, I'll be talking about the main things. Well, I'll just be talking about the fact that I am a person, HS Warrior, which is hydronitis. Okay, I always get the last name wrong. That is embarrassing, y'all. And I was diagnosed since 2011. So sometimes on this podcast, I will be talking about my life dealing with this condition that, is a chronic illness that affects my daily life. And then sometimes we'll talk about and rant about certain things. I may talk about, what'd you think about this building? What about this weather? Just give a little rant here and there about what's going on in my life or what I feel about a certain topic. And sometimes you may hear, a little cursing. Sometimes you may not. And a lot of times I may give her inspirational words or two, whatever. So in general, it's just really me talking about life and how I perceive certain topics in life. And this one here, like I said, I may talk a little bit more later on, not in this particular podcast, but this one here, which is, like I said, in the description, it's just really about me ranting and getting reintroduced as I learn my way through the podcast world. And, just ranting about, like I said, life. But, hopefully y'all enjoyed this podcast, this episode. And I hope to give you more content to enjoy. But like I said, hopefully I'll add at least a little sound effects before I get here. Maybe a little intro too. And it'll become more interesting. But I did at least wanted to tell people like, hey, I'm just getting started. I'm just getting my little feet wet. I'm on my toes and my pinky too, and getting started as far as like how I'm going to go with the podcast. But like I said, if y'all have found this podcast through this platform or others, and I'm sorry, y'all. I'm like I said, I'm going through the app, and you might hear a notification. Okay, they got a Sell Joanne. That's great. Okay, but anyway. So I just wanted to reintroduce myself, and I'll continue. Like I said, some of my episodes will be talking about, like I said, my life living the mess HS, which I also have videos slash auto already on my YouTube, and I'll continue to, sometimes it'll be either both. Either they'll be in a podcast like I'm doing right now, y'all, and I might just upload it to YouTube, or it may have different content that I may say in my podcast. It may be different in YouTube, okay? So, but anyway, y'all, hugs and loves, whatever, as far as podcast show. And I am out, and I will definitely see y'all in the next episode. Like I said, you're going to see me. You're going to see, you're going to hear me, okay? Your eyes and ears, okay? Both. So anyway, y'all, see y'all in the next one. Take care.